on, but now we live in very, very dangerous times because the financial structure that was built on the dollar standard, that collapsed. And now we have this economic crisis going on, which is going to get worse. The foreign policy is destined to get worse. Inevitably, in major elections, most of the time the people sense that they like a tone of somebody said, you know, we should have less war, not more war, especially when the war doesn't make any sense. So Obama became the so-called peace candidate, just as George Bush said that policing the world and nation building wasn't good. So here we are. But what has happened? Nothing. I mean, they're following right along. They're expanding the war. The finances have totally deteriorated, but there's still trust in the dollar. But what you're going to witness is the loss in the trust of the dollar, and then those that we're indebted to will be in the driver's seat, and they're in the driver's seat more than ever. We have our troops all around the world. We send them over there protecting our industries and protecting our oil in the Middle East. At the same time, what are the Chinese doing? Making business deals with the Iranians. You know, they have become the capitalists and we have become the socialists. I don't think you need to hear any more about the problems, but what you need to hear about is the ominous burden placed on your shoulders, because you will not be able to walk away from this. Most of you in here are going to be destined to bear some burden and do a lot of good things, even if you just do one-on-one and convert people. But the number one responsibility you have is to perfect your philosophy, understand it, know what free markets are. The most important political message is to be able to talk about freedom and make sure that the people you're talking to, and that means all the other people, that their best interests will be served by living in a free society. Because we don't have the moral high ground the big government people do, because they're always stealing from one group and giving to another. I'll take care of you, and I'm going to give you free this and free that. But now, if the people want to know the answer, only freedom can feed the people. Only freedom can provide prosperity. And we are going to get poorer and poorer. We're going to have more crises. Our empire will have to end, and you will witness the day when we as a country will make a decision. What should the role of government be? And very simply, it was well intended by the founders, and the role of government ought to be to protect liberty. And liberty works. Liberty will take care of us. It will provide the prosperity, honesty in contracts, honest money, and that the decision will have to be made. If we fail, if you fail, if you don't do your work and the numbers don't grow, believe me, the momentum is to continue to depend on the government and give the government more power. We can't let that happen. And they could do this for a long time, even though the country may get poorer and poorer. They'll keep scaring the people. They'll say, oh, they scare you about 9/11. They scare you about Saddam Hussein. They scare you about the financial crisis. We need more and more governments. It's endless. Today a bill was passed pretty much overwhelmingly, which is going to regulate almost everything that the food producers do. I mean, it is going to be really, really bureaucratic on food. Food prices will have to go up. There's going to be shortages of food. It's so bad. Just like in medicine. Just think of what they're doing to medicine. None of these things work. So we need to study, understand the free market, and be able to defend this position. And what your job is going to be is unpredictable. I would never come here and say, look, what I need is every one of you to work for the goal of being in Congress. Believe me, don't set that as your